yeah, yeah. A little dust never stopped me down. He liked my shoes, I kept them on. Sometimes I can hold my tongue, sometimes not. When you just skip to leave my door, and you know what you're doing, so don't even. You just do use them on your knees. You just do use them on your knees. Hey, yeah, yeah. And I think I could leave your world if she was the better girl. So when we died, I tried to bribe the undertaker. 'Cause I'm not sure what you doing or the reason. You just do use them all in me. You just do use to my honey. You just do use them all in me. Don't bother coming down. I made a friend of the western sky. Oh, don't bother coming down. You always like your baby's turn back one last time. Love to watch those cowboys ride. But cowboys now, a cowgirl's ride on the Indian side. And you know what you're doing, so don't even. You just do use them all they need. You just do use to my honey. You just do use them all they need. You just do use them all. Honey. Had a northern lad, well, not exactly how. He moved like the sun said, God who painted that. First he loved my accent, how his knees would bend. I thought we'd be okay, me and my molasses, but I feel something is wrong. But I feel this cake just isn't done. Don't say that you don't. And if you could see me now, said if you could see me now, girls, you've got to know when it's time to turn the page, when you're only wet because of the rain, because of who of the rain, he don't show much these days. It gets so fucking cold. I love the secret places, but I don't go anymore. You change like sugar cane, says my northern light. Well, I guess you go too far when pianos try to be guitars. And I feel the waste in you, but I feel it's falling about you. Don't say that you don't. And if you could see me now, said if you could see me now, girls, you've got to know when it's time to turn the page, when you're only wet because of the rain. And if you could see me now, said if you could see me now, girls, you've got to know when it's time He's on the sleeve of a man. Don't wanna be a boy today. Heard the eternal footman bought himself a bike to race. Greg, he writes letters and burns his CDs. They say you were something in those formative years. Well, hold on to nothing as fast as you can. Well, still pretty good, yeah. Pretty good. Maybe a bright sandy beach is gonna bring you back, back, back. Maybe not so now you're off. You're gonna see America. Let me tell you something about America. Oh, pretty she is. Oh, pretty she can be. Some things are melting now. Some things are melting now. With hands, what's it gonna take till my baby's alright? What's it gonna take till my baby's Greg, he writes letters with his birthday pan. Sometimes he's aware that they're drawing him in. Lucy was pretty, your best friend agreed. Well, still pretty good. Ah, pretty good. Ah, pretty good. Ah, pretty good. Yeah.
We know that you come from a Native background.
Native American background. Yes. Both my mother and father are of Native American descent.
And how's that? Tell me, growing up with that in your blood and in your soul and in your environment, how's that affected your life? And
Well,
your
I
daughter's
didn't. I didn't really realize it was any different from anybody else's until I went to college, and I realized they didn't have the same respect, I suppose, or love for the nature that I was taught, and for animals, and for the spirits. My father had perfect pitch. He had an untrained, it was not a trained voice, but I was told he had one of the most beautiful tenor voices that this person had heard who taught music. And he sang to her from infancy. And I think perhaps that influenced her. ear, perhaps, some way. Now, I don't know that, but at the Peabody Institute, which is, now the Johns Hopkins School of Music, when she was auditioned, when she was 5 years old, they said it was a naturally God-given gift, that hers is not a learned musical gift. A lot of musicians inherit their musical talent, but neither my husband or I really are musical. And so I think it truly is a God-given gift. And she heard the right sounds, they said, in infancy, that perhaps made her ear keenly aware of the music. It's just a thought. I don't know.
And did you and your husband make a conscious choice to sort of share the spirituality of your heritage, or was it just a natural?
No, it was just natural. I never thought very much about it. It's just part of my background, my life, my love of the things of nature and the creatures. And we were taught that.
And what do you feel? How do you feel when you hear and see your daughter sing and perform?
I've always been moved by her music and her wisdom and the joy she gives to me and has always given to me when she plays. And she enjoys sharing it with others. And of course, I truly think it is God-given. And a lot of people have said that to me, and that how it has helped them, especially young people. We get such truly moving letters, my husband and I. And then the young people at the concerts will come up and say, I was in a really bad place, and her music saved my life. Or someone will say, I was thinking of committing suicide, and a friend said, you should listen to this record by Tori Amos. And they listened, and out of that, they were led to change their values and their way of life. And so, I'm deeply humbled by it, and deeply grateful that I could share in this, and that she has just meant so much to my husband and me in our lives. I just wish we could see more of her and her husband and granddaughter now. But that's the way life is. Yes, we treasure every moment. Well, before she ever even went to school, we spent so much time at home, she and I, playing. And I've always loved music. We've always had so much music in our house. And
well, tell them you had a record collection because you worked.
oh
in a
yes,
record
I worked at a record store growing up as a teenager.
Oh, you did?
Oh yes, I worked in a record store. And she would say, Mother, how do you like those drums? You hear those drums? And here she was at the piano. Or how do you like that brass? And I'd say, I don't hear any of that. And she would look at me like, well, Mother, you're the dumbest person in the world. And I said to her, I think that's one of the times then that I began to realize she has a special gift, that she's hearing music in her head that I'm not hearing at all.
Well, that's it. You were obviously amazingly attentive, which a lot of parents I don't think would have been, because there she was in a conservatory at 5. So you paid quite a bit of attention to that.
Well, we had a lot of friends who were very skilled in music around us. My husband was serving a large suburban church in Baltimore at the time, and there were a lot of people that were very talented in music in the church, and in fact it was they who encouraged us to have our audition in the Peabody Institute, which is the preparatory part for the conservatory. Well, we had a terrible time getting them to listen to us. And it took about 6 months before we ever got an audition because they thought we were just pushy parents, you know? And when we finally went in that day, there was a group of 4 or 5 professors that sat down, and they said to us, "Oh, well, what are you going to play for us today? Ring Around the Rosie?" And I became... We Native Americans have a lot of temper, and, you know, that's what's done us in. It just... I just had to really bite my tongue because I said, "Oh, I think you will recognize it." And she played some beautiful classical music, and she always had a marvelous repertoire. You know, everything from Mozart to Nat King Cole.
Mom had quite a record collection. Fats Weiler, Billie Holiday.
Yes, and I still have some of those.
Hundreds of records.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when Dad would go to church,
And
Mom
this is
would
Dad
go on
over
the
here.
Hello, Reverend.
Dad.
How are you?
Laura, nice to see
Good
you.
to see you.
Daddy, I met Lauren, we said it was 1992, at the Town Hall concert in New York.
Oh,
And then I
And
drove with you and your daughter to her when you gave her
Wedding
away.
down
that's
at the-
right. Wonderful. Wonderful. So,
What a surprise to see you.
Nice to see you.
yes.
So nice.
I didn't
Yes.
know you were on this crew.
I'm on it today. We're doing this
Yeah.
DVD for Tori in
Well, that's marvelous. Where do you work out of? What place?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
When
Los
usually our
Angeles.
weather's better in Florida than it is
Yes,
right
but
now.
southern,
But now it's
sunny
really
southern
the
Florida.
pits now with the storms kicking up out there. You see, it's really
Yeah, Mama
bad.
has her Indian.
Yeah.
She's part
Well,
Cherokee.
she-
We were
so-
talking
Yeah.
about that. That's what we were
Yes.
She-
very
she-
deeply talking about.
She had this made for me by
Oh,
the
did you?
Lakotas.
beautiful.
We
Noticed
treasure the
it right away.
buffalo,
Right.
you know.
And the white
All
buffalo,
of
yeah.
us. You know, we used to have
Right.
buffalo here in the Smokies.
Didn't know that. Not
Yes,
so bad.
and they were hunted and killed. In fact, there's...
Well, we're having
The Buffalo
Ted
Creek.
Turner's revising.
Yeah, he is
Buffalo,
doing a
he's-
marvelous
The white
job
buffalo also,
trying,
right?
trying
Well, I think
to,
so.
Yeah.
He's
to,
going into the
uh,
Buffalo marketing.
Oh, well, I don't
Well,
like
it's-
that part of it. but,
Hamburgers,
But,
yeah.
it's really tragic what happened to the bison out west,
Yes, it is.
you know.
Well, yeah.
But that's the way.
And the West. And
Yes, it's really. So,
thank you so much.
oh, it
Great.
was my pleasure.
It was great.
My
I'm
pleasure.
glad we got you. I didn't know
Thank
you were going to
all.
be here. That was...
And please edit it and don't make me sound crazy.
Well, I don't promise anyway. You're going to sound great. You look great. You look fabulous.
Oh, aren't you kind?
Well, she does look
Right?
for 39.
Oh, you all. Oh, Ed, I was 19. I'm still
Jailbait,
still
Ed.
a teenager.
Yeah.
But it
We'll
was.
see, honey.
It was. There were a lot of married veterans coming through. And-
Every veteran was looking for a little wife. That's the way it
And I
works.
met this
Yeah.
Navy boy,
this-
and that's the story.
That's the part of it. 1/3.
One third. Yeah, I got the other. I got the other two.
So thank
Favor
you
this one,
all
but-
now.
Yeah, we better
See
go.
you later.
See you later.
I don't know what I did with my water.
See you later.
Somewhere I lost my water.
Mother,
Here it is.
we can get you a new water. I think we can spring that.
Okay, bye-bye.
See you soon.
Take care, Lauren. Be good. I hope I see you again before 10 years.